like, why
Sports?
Coming to you live.
March Madness.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball.
Well, happy March, everyone. Welcome back to another episode.
Happy March.
I feel like I'm excited to talk about our Fresh Start episode today because it's like spring related and you know we love a theme. We love like a...
I need to look up the first day of spring. Sorry, keep
I think
going.
it's March. I think it's... Maybe it's April. I actually don't know. But, you know, we live in San Diego, so the seasons don't even really matter at all.
It's daylight savings on Sunday.
Right.
And it is the first day of spring on March 20th. So we are entering the month of spring.
Spring. Fresh starts.
Fresh starts. Oh, that gets me excited for spring cleaning.
Tell me you are not an old fuck. Like, what? But I'm so relatable. I'm
wanting to scrub out the cabinets. Like, when I take utensils out and there's crumbs in there, I'm like, I will be cleaning this at some point.
I love, like, a good fan clean, too, with, like, that Swiffer. Oh, my God. Or Swiffer, whatever the fuck you say.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be so good. Closet clean out. Kitchen clean out. Anyway, that's not the topic of today.
Jumped ahead with I was even thinking if I had any updates for you, and I don't. Nothing that's, like, worth sharing on the pod. I think a lot of the updates are kind of what we're talking about today. I think Erica and I have just gone through quite a bit of change recently, and it's good, and it's not so good, and there's ups and downs to everything, and we thought we'd kind of, like, share a little bit about not just what we're going through, but also just when we've been in these moments in our lives where there's a transition or a big shift, whether it's a job or a relationship or a move or friends or blah, 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 blah. Like, there is this, like, sense of excitement, but also, like, nervous energy. And I don't know, I feel like both of us have been feeling like that recently.
Yeah.
Who wants to go? I can go. I feel like I've been pretty open on the pod about my career stuff, just when it, like, with kids and me leaving when I got kind of, like, super burnt out, and then starting back in the restaurant and how excited I was for that. But I think recently there's just been a shift in, well, I feel like I kind of talked about it at the beginning of the year where I was like, I want a change. Like, I don't know where the change is coming from, but I need a change. I'm sick of being a little, like, complacent. I feel like stagnant in my, like, learning and growth and just, like, life, and I needed a kickstart. And I feel like I like where I live, so I don't want to move. Like, I have great friends. I'm not ready to, like, you know, completely shift that. I didn't necessarily want to change what I was doing. I don't think I was necessarily ready for that, but I was like, maybe I can swap it out. Also, there is something to be said about working at a place that you don't like and you know it's time. So I left where I was working and started somewhere new, literally all in the same day. It felt like, I think kind of things not blew up at work, but there was just more and more things happening, and I was getting really frustrated, and it was getting to the point where I would, like, anticipate walking into a place that I like. Like, I would fuck around and joke around and have a good time and be social and enjoy what I was doing and be excited about it. And, like, the more and more I would walk in and I would anticipate feeling anxious, feeling annoyed, feeling like I had nothing but, like, negative things to say, negative energy, and, like, that shit carries, and you carry that and then you, like, project that to all the other, like, people around you. And it was kind of similar to when I was feeling ready to leave working with kids without the, like, burnout energy, and I think that was just really what was getting me to, like, okay, this is the change. Also year of the horse, so I felt like this was, like, a kick into doing something. And I think we can talk a little bit more about it this episode, but there's something to be said when things are kind of, like, shoved in your face. And so that kind of happened to me, and I jumped on board and literally within, like, a few days swapped over, and it's been a lot. And I'm excited, but it's been so much feeling that I want to talk about it on the podcast. So you know something's going on when I'm like, we need to say it on the pod.
Yeah, it is a huge change. I have been to the new spot and it's awesome. Would recommend. But I feel like I've also been going through career shifts on my end and forced career shifts. But also, I knew something needed to change. I knew similar to you. It's like...
You were talking about it.
Yeah, I'd been talking about it for a minute. I actually looked back at my emails and I saw I had started talking with someone in October for, like, a new job. So maybe that's why it also feels, like, a little bit stressful, because I'm like, I've been looking into this for some time now, but I also haven't been like actively interviewing, applying for a ton of spots, so it is a little different, and I have to remind myself that I wasn't like, you know, on the grind with applications. And I am excited for what's out there. I am like, I think grass is always greener type thing, but I do think there are opportunities where I can make more money, where I can maybe have more opportunity, have a better title, have more resources. Like, that does exist. And I think when you're in a job already, it is very hard to also start applying to other jobs, to also start interviewing at other jobs. And it's very easy to justify, like, I'm getting by with what I'm doing right now. Like, yes, I want to change, or yes, I would like something to be different, but, like, I think the comfort of even this discomfort is, like, better than the unknown sometimes. So I am ultimately thankful that I've had like a month and a half now to like take my time, and I'm not like destitute, but there is like a fire under me to figure something out. It was like at the beginning of my unemployment, I was enjoying it, and I was like, I'm gonna like soak in this time. And then there was like a few weeks where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like I can't relax. I can't be present. I feel like I can't do anything because I don't know when I'm going to have a job again, so I don't want to spend any money. So all I can do is binge watch every show on HBO.
Oh, that's so funny.
And now that I'm like getting to final stages at places, I'm like, I see a light. And so I'm able to be back in this, like, okay, I'm enjoying the time. I'm thinking more about like what I want my routine in life to look like, and starting a new job, I want things to be different. Like, you can so easily fall into what it was prior. So I'm excited to, I think, I was saying February I was going to start a new job, but this month I will.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Now, you brought up some good things, and I think not only just with this shift right now with like our career stuff, and I'm just saying career for me because it's just easier. I don't necessarily like strongly, I don't know, whatever. But with a lot of things, like I think we've both gone through some like pretty significant transition periods in our life where we've been, either we forced it upon ourselves or it was like forced upon us to like really sit and like decide on what we're doing, whether it's like a change, like I said, a relationship. I think are like the three ones that I think you and I have experienced are like big serious relationship changes, big serious job or career changes, and then big serious like moving, like not only just from like the home but like out of the country, and like then coming back into the country. And you said something about the idea of like, oh, the grass is always greener on the other side, and it made me think like about how like our mindset right now is so different, because I think I can be pretty impulsive, surprise, and I have always really felt that of like, oh, if I significantly shift my world around, it'll be better because it's like a fresh start or whatever. But like the older I get, the more I'm like, that's not true. It's really, really not true. And while I'm like excited for this new change, I think as nervous as I am, like starting something new, you know, I'm feeling like very much the small fish in a big pond rather than like the big fish in this little tiny pond, you know. And it's nerve-wracking, but at the same time, I'm also like, it's this, like, it's just kind of copy paste in like a little bit of a different font. And I also am like not doing brain surgery, so I'm like, okay, everybody. But I'm also, fuck, what else was I gonna say? Oh, also just like with that level of maturity too, when I see kind of what you're going through, is you're not willing to just accept any offer because it's an offer on the table, because you're like, okay, I wanted this like flip and now I have to like do it. It's yeah, you wanted the change and you were kind of like forced to have that change, but you're also at a really good position. And I see it where you're like, I'm not picking something out of a random bucket. Like you're really putting time and thought and energy into making sure that this is like, you know, gonna be enough money, you know, or like, is this a place that I want to even be working for, you know? And I think that comes with time and age and maturity, and I just am seeing that so much, and I feel like it helps me adapt with transition periods in my life.
Yeah, I think though it can be really easy to like, okay, this is a job, I need a job, I'm going to take the job. But I think because I've now been unemployed twice, I have worked at like a handful of different tech companies, I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this song and dance. I'm like really done. It's cool that things have shifted to where we can kind of company hop every year or every 2 years if you want to, if you're over it type thing. But I'm also like, I would like to be excited about a place and be able to build something and be able to stay there for like more than a year. You know, like I would like to feel invested in what I'm doing. And I haven't felt that in a few years because I'm like, one, I could care less about this company. I don't necessarily believe in what's happening here. Like, I'm just taking the paycheck type thing. I'm not necessarily like, when people ask me what I do, I'm just like, yeah, I'm in tech like everyone else. Like, that's how it feels to me, you know? Like, I'm just like, it's cliche. And I don't want to feel that way. Like, if I'm spending so much of my day working someplace, I don't think it's going to give me all the satisfaction, all these things that I'm looking for, but I do want to feel somewhat invested in it and like excited by it. This is making me think of this episode of Life Kit I listened to. I think it was Life Kit, where they were talking about like, why is it when you get older that you feel like time just goes so fast? And we might have talked about this before, I can't remember, but and like when you're a kid, it feels like days are so long and there's so much that happens in a day, but it's usually because, one, everything for kids is new, so you're constantly experiencing new things, learning new things, seeing new things.
So true. And
as you get older, you like want to have a routine, you want to do the same things. It's like comforting, it's easy, so it makes it like, yeah, I'm totally fine to have my morning routine, to go to work, to have my evening routine, go to bed, and like nothing ever changes. And I think change can be really uncomfortable, and like fresh starts are exciting because it is that change. It is like shaking things up. It's like waking you up. It's making you.
What is that, Newton's law? Like things that stay in motion, or things that are in motion stay in motion, and things that are stagnant stay. Is that?
Yeah.
That up?
No, I think.
But that is literally what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, you need that push to go, and then once you're going, you can. But if you're staying still, like, why the fuck would I want to change? If my bills are paid for, I like my routine, I like when I go to bed, here I am. Yeah, I'm miserable, but like, what's misery compared? Yeah. Yeah.
I know. So I feel like that's what I was feeling leading up to this. I was like, I dread my days. Maybe not dread, but I'm bored. I don't want to be in this. Like, something has to change. Yes. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of like, that is so hard. It's so much work. It's not easy. And I think the more you learn as you grow up, and the more, I don't know, just like shitty things you're experiencing, you're like, I'd rather just be safe and happy and not like, and I just avoid.
Well, even in today's world too, I feel like that is something that people are really like considering. It's like a privilege to be able to like, you know, do a bazillion different things all at once. And sometimes like when it's like scary, or you don't have the means, or it's like too much of a change, why would you want to? Why would you want to have that fresh start, or like change it up a little bit? But I mean, it's scary. I think I just, I think I get older and I get nervous because like I said, I am like a very reactive person. So when there is a transition period in my life, I feel like I'm like over reflecting. Like I think, like I kind of knew something was gonna happen and I knew something was gonna change, and I have these moments in my life where it's just like a feeling and it's like very, very quick. And I think sometimes like in my past it's been quick and then like I feel like I instantly regret it, and then it's been really quick and I'm like, this is exactly right. So it's that like peak of adrenaline and excitement of like, I don't really know. And that's what I was gonna say about like having things like shoved in your face and like having signs. And I don't want to get too woo woo, but when it comes to like fresh starts, wow, I think that, I don't know, maybe you can relate or maybe not, but to me, I'm like, I know when things are the right decision because it's like, it's right here. Like the sign, the word, whatever is like right in my face. And I think some like pretty big moments of that were like leaving Australia. I just like, I really, was kind of thinking about it and unsure, and all of a sudden something had happened in the moment, and like, I don't know why, but the button was pressed and the plane ticket was bought and the rest is history.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what it was or why we like, meaning me, like need that push, but I am that kind of person. And sometimes I think people relate to that, but then there are other people that just like think things through and take things slow. And I'm like, I wonder what that would be like.
I feel like I've had both. I think there are definitely times in my life where and it's usually, maybe I don't want to say my fault, but there are signs where it's like, things aren't working, things should change, this is not how I want it to be, and I just forcibly continue on the path down because I'm like, no, I'm gonna make it work, I want this to happen, it is fine, shut up, inner monologue, like it will be fine. And then it gets to the point where it's like quite literally everything has crashed and burned, so I actually have to change things, like I have to start over. And I feel like that's the forced. And then there's the other times where I'm like, I'm unhappy, I don't want this, like I need to shake things up, I want to, there's so many things on my list of things I want to do and learn and work on, and I'm not doing anything about it. So like, how can I start small, doing little things every day type thing? So I feel like it's dependent on what it is yeah. Usually it's the bigger things, usually it's the more meaningful things that I am like, I'm going to force them to work until they won't work anymore.
Yeah. That's kind of how it happens. But honestly, like I don't know if that's good advice or not, but like when it comes to transitioning or like wanting to shake things up, like I think I saw a TikTok about it and I've never heard anything more relatable, and I'm just going to keep spreading this even if it's wrong. But my advice and opinion is, if you think that you don't like something, whether it be like a food or a relationship or a job, do it until you are so fucking sick of it. Like you want to fucking throw up. You're like, I can't do it anymore. That way when you leave, you're like, bye. Not a doubt in my mind that I made the wrong decision or right decision. But it's like, and I think I kind of did it with this past job. It was like, even without like the actual like shitty things that were going on with like shitty people, I think I knew I wanted something different. I was like, I know I kind of want to step in. I want to grow. I want to learn. Like I'm excited, Yeah. I do think that I can get stagnant, but for the most part, I do like learning. I like change. I like trying new things, and I just hadn't in a while. I think I was kind of, one, depressed, and then two, comfortable. Like I moved, like why would I go from being depressed into automatically like changing it up? Like I think I needed that like period of like chill out vibes. But I'm like, I was like feeling it, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep going, to the point where I was like, let's just work 7 days a week and never get a break. And then all of a sudden, when the opportunity presented itself, I was able to just be like, bye, out of here. And like, yeah, it's sad, but I think I'm more sad because it brought me some like incredible people in my life that helped me at a time where I needed help, you know what I mean? And like that's always sad, but like at the same time I'm just like, again, bye.
Yeah.
And like even like it's shitty, but the TikTok that I was referring to, I think she was talking about a relationship, but it's like I find that fucking hilarious. Again, not great advice, I recognize that, but I'm not a fucking doctor, I'm not your mom. Like I think it's true. You think you don't like someone, spend every waking second moment of them, and then you'll know, and then you'll be like, I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. I thought it was funny as fuck, though.
No, I do think that's good. Are there any other things going on, like, aside from career right now that you're, like, starting fresh in or wanting to?
I think just talk about, like, a mental shift. Again, I'm trying not to put too much thought in it, and, like, maybe you can relate a little bit or share your experience, but I do know that, like, my mentals come in seasons. So it's like, yeah, speaking of spring, I'm sprouting a fresh new mental state. Flower. But I think, like, I went through this, like, I don't want to reflect. Like, I don't want to think about anything. I don't want any change. I don't want to talk about the bad choices I'm making. I don't want to talk about who's at the house. I don't want to do I don't want to talk about it. Into this, like, okay, now I'm 30. This is a really good chance for me to reflect, but also celebrate and enjoy. And now that, like, the maybe celebrating needs to come to an end, it's like I'm now entering a little bit of just like a lifestyle change, I would say. I don't know. I wouldn't say lifestyle change. I think it's just finally making steps and like seeing change that I've maybe put an effort towards, like referring to like therapy and things like that. I started a few months ago, and now I'm like slowly reaching the 6-month mark, and it's like reflecting back on
that's
that.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
So fast.
I know. And like seeing how I like deal with things. I don't think it necessarily has to do with being 30, but I think that alongside everything else just kind of makes me like rope it all in, you know? And I think it's just like, you know, when you have a big birthday like that, you can't help but be like, what's going on? Like, what changes are there? Like, what changes have happened from, you know, just like our other episode that we just had from like my birthday episode, what changes happened between like 20s into now, and like being able to reflect on that and see that and be like, damn, that is a transition. So I wouldn't necessarily say fresh start, but definitely a shift for sure.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the, because I turn 30 next month. I'm in the, like, I need to clear out, declutter, like, whatever I want to leave behind in my 20s, this is the month to do it, and, like, goodbye, good riddance to whatever is left. I don't think I've felt at all, like, anxious or dreadful of turning 30. I think I've been, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to be done with my 20s. Not, like, wishing my life away, but I think there's just, like, eras of myself or maybe things that I've done that I'm just, like, I'm done with that. I don't want to, like...
lay it to bed, kind of.
Yeah. A new chapter, a new leaf. So that feels exciting. And I feel like we've talked about fitness stuff before. I think for me, maybe this isn't fresh start either, but more of just like finding that balance between going so extreme on the cardio or so extreme on the HIIT or whatever, like maxing out. I'm like, can we just figure it out already? Like, can we just have balance in your life? And like, so that you don't go through these like, now I'm not going to work out for 3 months because I'm so burnt out on everything, you know? But I do think things have kind of, like, slowly come to that center with, like, fitness, with making food at home, like, being happy and content and not needing to eat out all the time. Like, trust me, I love it. I will do it still. But, like, there is a balance there that I'm finding. I think there's a balance with, like, saying yes to things and saying no to other things.
It's almost like you're leaving that transition a little bit, like you were in it for those things of like just trying to figure out, because that's what it is, right? You're just trying to figure out like what is gonna become like the new comfortable or whatever, and like you go through that period of just like, oh my god, and then finally like coming to a center, like you were saying. I love that.
Yeah, so that feels nice. I do think that is maybe like a fresh start in a way, because I've never felt like I've really had that. It's been me trying to figure that out for so long.
I think too, like, again, the theme of this year I've already seen with the podcast, which I love, but like giving ourselves some grace. Like, I'm even thinking, like, we are just now, I feel like this past since January, really. When did you buy the rug? Was that January?
Yeah, I can confirm with an email if we really want to know.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
I think it was rugs.com. Let's see. No, it was in November.
Oh, damn. Okay, well, still. My point being that we moved last November, so still a year. And, like, that's a move is a huge fresh start. It's a huge transition. And I feel like from our move into, like, a year later, we got this rug. I don't know why that's, like, the staple of, like, us. Yeah, of us finally getting our shit together. But, you know, it takes time. And it takes, like, the fresh start isn't just, like, okay, it just happened. You made the decision. Boom, fresh start. Sprout anew. Continue on. It's, like, it takes time. You might be in this transition, this fresh start period for a while. So, like, giving yourself grace and allowing time to, like, swing a little bit and, like, giving yourself that time to, like, come into the middle. That is where I am struggling with right now, is I want it to be, okay, I was the old, the new was just, like, this little bit, and then now we're back to, like, okay, I'm used to it. And, like, things just don't work like that. And I even feel like that even when you move, like, somewhere, like when I came home from Australia, and maybe you can relate to this when you came home from South America, is like I wanted it to be like, okay, I was in doing something cool, that's awesome, I had this transition where I came back. Maybe it's different for you because you were, like, always on the move, but it's like that transition, and then, like, I wanted to be home and it'd be like, okay, I have everything figured out, here's my job, here's my life, blah blah blah. And it's like, that's just does not work. Like, a fresh start quite literally is like a fresh start, like you're a newborn baby. It takes a second to, like, have your steps, you know?
No, that's so true. And I think that that's why sometimes people avoid change so much, because it is so uncomfortable, and because it is, like, it takes so much time to, like, find comfort again, or be, like, okay with the decision. And it might be that you made a really good decision and you know deep down, but it's like, well, now I don't have XYZ, or now this is different, and now this is different. And it's like, even though you know that that's not, like, those things, you didn't want those anymore, it is still just like, well, how the fuck do I do it now this way? You know, like, this is so different. And it doesn't mean that it's bad, but it is just like, so much more work, it's so much more exhausting, I'm, like, using so much more energy. I can't just, like, go through this mindlessly, because before I had everything down routine wise. I think me coming back from South America was, one, driven by the fact that I had $0 in my bank account, and also because I was like, this is what you do, like, this, I need to get in a big girl job, I need to get my own apartment, like, that's, I need to grow up. That's what was driving that decision.
So you were bullying yourself?
Yeah, crazy. It's been happening for years.
You know, when people are like, you need to be your number one fan, I'm like, I am my number one bully, and that's how I get through the day.
I want to be. I really want to be. It feels very unnatural when I'm, like, doing nice things for myself.
Like, what is happening?
I'm, like, doing it, and then I'm like, shut up. That was so dumb.
It's so true, though. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It just is, it's tough, but it's exciting at the same time. I think that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I'm like, I know that I'm interested, and I want to, you know, like, you know, like, but I'm also like, oh.
Yeah. I think if you're feeling stagnant, it's like, just know that just know, KNOW. Just know that no, N-O. That no change is going to be easy, and no change is going to immediately be like, this was the right decision. Like, maybe, yes, it will actually feel that way for a second, and then you will have you'll still have like pain points and things that are hard about it or whatever. But I think if you're feeling stagnant, it's like, especially with spring around the corner, this is a great time to like just rip the Band-Aid off, make a change, make a decision, stop overthinking things, or maybe start thinking about things if you're like, something has got to change. What is it? I need to figure that out, because life does go by so fast.
Truly.
And
like, why waste it doing something that you're like, I don't know, I have to remind myself too, is like, yes, I'm trying to survive and like, you know, just make sure I'm taken care of and safe and healthy, but at the same time, like, I have this life, I have this body, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, go do something. Like, if I have to earn money, how am I earning my money? If I have to go, like, whatever, what am I doing with that time? I just, you know, if I can't drive, am I walking? If I'm not walking, you know what I mean? It's just like the little things like that. And I think when you get a little too comfortable, this is exactly where I was. I got too comfortable. I didn't even want to think about those kinds of things. And I don't know if it was me turning 30. I don't know if it was me, whatever the fuck, but I got that push to be like, not that that's not who I am, but like, kinda, you know, where I am just like, oh, I don't really want to think about it. I have no care to learn or try something new or experience life. Like, ugh, how boring.
Yeah.
What a waste.
What a waste.
I hate saying that, but like, yeah, kind of.
I get that.
Yeah. Also, there's like construction on like
they're literally redoing the road.
Every time.
I know. I don't know how to avoid it. They're redoing the road. They're ripping apart buildings. It's never ending.
Last time there was a full demo happening. Oh my goodness gracious. We can't even escape it. We can't escape.
And if it's not construction, it's us turning on the dishwasher, the washing machine.
Little Roo is going on.
Little Roo.
The dogs are slurping up the water. I'm like, oh my Lord, have mercy.
Thanks for bearing with us in our home studio.
You know what? I fucking love it though.
I do too. We're organic, authentic, just chit-chatting. And we're glad that you guys are listening. And
honestly.
If you want to chat with us, you can. You can comment on YouTube, I think. And you can comment on... you can comment on YouTube. You can comment on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
On our socials. We would love some engagement. We love you guys. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.